trade. And wow, Hal still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhang Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of Heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Deadly. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with this BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60, still alive at the moment. And oh, the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stolen Vision Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
That this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money, and that for me is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage dealing item,
Dire's turn.
but in order to do so he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Zamail, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hook shot as well. They're going to bite Zamail. The Colt's burn bought them a little bit of extra time, and with Zamail down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see. But CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they could delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD here.
Seconds. 5 seconds. It is Radiant Span. Dire must choose. Radiant's Dire's turn. Radiant's turn to pick. Ember Spirit. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. It is Dire's ban.
Awesome teams, then they can just come down Divine, play, I'd say better Dota than they did in Immortal, but I mean it's good enough here. What? Oh,
it is time for the draft of this series, so let's go to the draft Pantheon. I have the lemon. I will toss it now to the draft Pantheon, and they will catch it and continue the conversation. Here we go, guys.
Ah, perfect. Thank you so much, Shiver. Wanted to give my boy some lemonade right as we transition here into yet another series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Navi versus Hellraisers into the Draft Pantheon. You know, Shiver's got a hell of an arm to be able to throw it all that way, but I'm here joined by BSJ, T-Governor. Welcome. What are your expectations as we see yet another immortal demotion into the divine world? Is this going to be more of the same? Is this was NIP just on fire? What's going on right now?
I just think the quality between the Immortal Divine teams is obviously showing. The pacing that you have to play at the Immortal level is extremely high. So even though it did come last, it's like they still were able to match some of the pacing in these games. So I think the Divine teams, they've not had the exposure to these intense games. So coming into this series, I want to see Hellraisers with a little bit more fight in their step compared to Cyber Legacy. Try and be a little bit more consistent and try and push through to match what Navi should be able to, present in this series.
Yeah, to be blunt, that second game there, I feel like Cyber Legacy played about the worst team fight execution I've seen in about a week, about 20 minutes in or whatever, when the game was like completely even. 1K network lead one way or the other. Triple bot back and lost 6 or 7 heroes, and I feel like for NIP, they've got to that point in games a lot. And then the Immortal teams, they'll execute and they'll take down the game, but it just shows that you look as bad or as good based on who you're playing against. Like NIP looks pretty good when they're playing against a team that doesn't execute at the highest level.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're pretty good.
Yeah. It's all about the pacing, right?
Yeah, it really is.
If you make a mistake, are you punished? And so far in this draft, we're seeing the same nuances from that previous series. The IO and then the Ember response to it. The fact that Ember can be as active as mobile. Nice little lemon there.
Thank you.
And so far, don't mind these openings. What are your any glaring thoughts right now?
No, I'd say both openings kind of like tell you a story, but it's only beginning to unravel.
Oh,
it's not really
it's chapter 1.
Yeah, we're not at the climax just yet, so I'm waiting to get there. Gotta time it just right,
Yeah, I don't think Hellraisers actually flexes IO into any special role, so it will simply just be a position 5 IO, I believe, and obviously the time can go mid or 4, but
I could recycle the same question that I used in the last panel.
Go for it, why not?
There was an IO gyro pairing for the first one, and yet again, Sven is being left into the pool. Why are teams, like, if you're gonna make your IO a support and you're gonna pair it with a carry, what are the different flavors of carry that IO exceeds with, and what are they different, like what are they good at? So for the gyrocopter, the justification that I was told is that it's more mixed damage early on, more magic damage. You can take advantage of the mana regen more as a gyrocopter paired with an IO than you could with other cores. With Sven, I imagine something with move speed.
Well, maybe? I like gyro earlier in the draft because he is like a mid gamer. So like obviously he turns into late game, but he's going to be participating in the game much earlier than a hero like Sven. So if you're going to pick Sven with IO, like I really hope they don't pick Sven here. I want it to scale like really well against whatever I see. I don't particularly care about the IO Sven combo. Like these heroes all work with IO.
But we've seen as well, like teams pick this IO, for example, Secret, and they're not pairing it with like the combos, right? It's just that lane support that provides the heal can then pair with someone else and be super active on the map, right? So in this type of game, I could easily see them picking up a standard carry, and then the IO after laning phase will then pivot into playing with, for example, like the Tiny, be super aggressive, go for the pickoffs, and like, for example, if they pick Sven here, it's just incredibly kited. Where if they jump someone, that there's Oracle ult, there's Phoenix Egg, the Ember should maybe be able to disconnect. Like, there's no way they should be picking this.
I'm down for Morphling right now, if they play it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a really nice Morphling game.
Why is Morphling like falling off the face of the earth?
He's just real slow.
Doesn't provide anything until the portions of the middle portions of the game, right? And
that sounds like a Spectre.
Like I think
the Spectre doesn't provide that much.
Well, when I say slow, I mean 280 move speeds.
Oh, okay, I see.
I mean very slow.
Okay.
Well, like the patch I thought that was gonna do him in was when Agility didn't get move speed anymore. He literally lost like 40 move speed.
Yeah.
Morphling's so annoying. When you're a position 5 and you look at Morphling and you go to gank him and he like goes all like seriously, guys, how much skill does it take to go all the way down to Agi and then all the way back up to strength and suddenly you found some HP? That is the most low skill
I
mechanic
will say,
in the game.
Morphling is incredibly hard to play, so if you're saying you're upset about some of his mechanics being easy...
no, it's way too... but in all seriousness, around the Morphling idea, I like the idea of it going maybe back to the mid lane rather than the side lane. I think just being able to push out the waveform, just play off your own defensive nature and get the early XP. I think that might be what Morphling teams might do, but
I would love to see Mars here.
For Navi?
For Navi.
Sure,
Mars is actually like the only hero in the game that can protect against Morph because you can bulwark, and the Morph attacks will hit the bulwark instead of the Phoenix. I learned that the hard way with my carry not killing the egg. BKB Morph doesn't hit the egg, it just hits Mars.
Nice. And also, if you relocate in, you chucking a rune down, you can't, you got to either cancel or you're dead.
So you're interested in protecting the egg, or is it more that you want more team fight?
It's both. It gives you a stun. You already have like a lot of the other components of the game, and right now the reason why I liked Morph specifically is because it threatens the egg, and it's good against Ember. Ember's a great hero to morph into, and it doesn't really care about Oracle all that much. So the thing I am so shocked about here is Terrorblade I thought was on paper countered by Morphling.
Well, that's where the adjustment comes in, where it's more Terrorblade has the better timings early on, and playing with your team, you can pace the Morphling. You can take those objectives easier. Of course, later into the game, when you're talking like 30, 40 minutes, Morphling will of course become TB, be more mobile, and he's just a better version. But in terms of like the main kind of meaty portion of the game, I think Terrorblade naturally just comes online a little bit quicker. And especially like in terms of the laning, right? You see Void Spirit Tiny, like this is going to be Void Spirit off lane potentially, Tiny for IO5, like where's that innate pressure coming into the lane to truly get rid of the Terrorblade?
There better be a Void Spirit mid. You saw the Ember, and you're not going to...
True, that could be there
like
well,
your off laner, I don't think they should have saved their mid laner. I think they're going to go something like Underlord. Timbersaw would have worked too. They banned Legion. I really like Underlord for Hellraisers, and I think...
they banned out the Mars last time.
Yeah, Mars is really good. If you've never seen that mechanic, it's actually unplayable against...
What do they go... What off lane do you think they go for now? They could go for... They themselves could go for Underlord, if anything, or buy a Obnoxious in lane. They can go for Centaur.
If they want to like kind of deny pick it, sure.
Yeah.
Thinking about what's annoying for Morphling.
5 seconds.
Batrider still in the pool? They could go Batrider.
Offlaners specifically that are annoying. Do you want annoying in lane? Do you want annoying?
Just both.
I'd rather game.
But what would be more important here? Because you've got a Terrorblade that you're saying has peaks and valleys versus a Morphling.
Yeah.
What's the timing for Navi to ideally, hem Hellraisers into their base, start sieging high ground? Are we looking for a mid-game oriented team fight? Or are we just like, I'm going to just dump on you in the lane kind of offlaner?
I don't know if there are any offlaners that'll dump on IO more for the Phoenix.
No, yeah, I think you're looking at like the skirmishes post-landing phase, 10 minutes, securing your ability to go Roshan around minute 18, their Centaurs, and then from minute 18 with that Aegis, just owning the map, taking over that Tri-Camp, taking away the Ancients, and just pressuring the Morphling to feel like he can't do anything.
Right now, 3 puck. Just do it.
I think if they go for puck, they have a very loosey-woosey lineup in which they will just be outmaneuvered by this Ember. He will just pivot around the map and just get what he wants, and I think Navi will just take the win freely, unfortunately, Mr. BSJ.
Okay.
Well, what do you like about the puck then?
I was thinking some hero like that actually kind of like the puck. Yeah, slippery is basically what I was thinking. I like the puck better because it counters the Centaur Stampede away. It's very good against Ember, and then it's also magical damage to burst the Terrorblade. I don't love the Weaver pick itself. It gives them another save. I'm assuming it's a 3 Weaver. I guess it could... No, it actually could be offlane Void Spirit mid... Oh yeah, they're going to do mid Morphling, offlane Void Spirit, carry Weaver against the Centaur. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that actually makes a lot more sense that they're doing that. I just, for whatever reason, just locked the Morphling into carry.
Yeah.
I'm locking these odds in. 2.28. Hellraisers 1.57 from EGB.com.
I think they have to snowball the lanes on Hellraisers based on that last pick. I thought they were going to go for the out carry matchup with the Morphers Terrorblade, but they've gone all in on the lane counters.
Yeah, exactly that. I think I like the idea of putting that Morphling to secure his game. Weaver can play into Centaur. I'm just scared that eventually they're going to look at this TB, and if they haven't shot him down, where is the damage? Sure, Morph can become TB, it's scary, kills everyone else, but this TB just isn't ever going to die. There's no pressure really on stopping him from sundering. So I think overall, Navi have the nicer draft where they can kind of play on the back foot and easily just play for Hellraisers to make that mistake. And once they do, I think Navi should just take this.
I'll take the pub approach and say that there's no way I'd lose a pub if my mid-morph was a really good morph player. He was laning against an Ember and the carry was Terrorblade. So I'm basically saying I'm expecting my morph to be a baller morph player, meaning he's not just going to randomly die to some Oracle E when he's morphing.
To that 1 HP to get that 3 HP.
Yeah, he's not going to do that at all.
Fingers crossed.
And if he doesn't do that, I got them.
All right, well,
that's my stipulation.
We're going to see what these teams are capable of as I huck this lemon into the moon, and it'll eventually come down to another panel as we send it over to our casters for game number 1. Whoop!
Oh goodness, so we weren't quite ready for that one there. Came in a bit too fast.
I saved you, Owen.
You did. You saved my life. Well, ladies and gentlemen, game 1 of Hellraisers versus Navi. There you go. Let me get that player. What do we reckon? The cost. Looking at the drafts, we've got Morph TV coming out. We're getting our Weaver as the last pick. A bit of a surprise one, really. Not a hero that we're seeing a lot of. A hero that you think can work?
Possibly. I mean, Team Secret ran position 5 Weaver. It worked, but at the end of the day, they are Team Secret. I'm kind of on BSJ in this one, where Morphling needs to completely pop off. And it's going to be Miposhka playing the Void Spirit.
Okay, so some support Void Spirit. And from Miposhka. We'll see how that one plays out. So, of course, giving the core positions to the Tiny, Funnick playing this top lane Tiny, and indeed the Weaver as the position 1. So, I mean, Void Spirit sort of roaming around the map as the spot. Do you think this was the plan all along, or is this a check in what they want the heroes to do because of something that Navi's drafted against it?
I guess it's just a situation that they were in, trying to figure out, how they're gonna do it. Morphling is great against the Ember Spirit on a mid lane, of course, and Morphling should get the complete free farm.
Yeah.
And you also want to have items and levels on Tiny. So this Oracle, Terrorblade's not a hero that has a lot of HP. Same goes for Ember and Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix strength gain is okay. It got reduced in the previous patch. But overall, you want to have them on Tiny that, just goes in and makes stuff happen.
And I'm over on the side of Navi. Yeah, hopefully you ladies and gentlemen at home do hear the game sounds. We do not quite hear those at the moment. And Navi. Oh, there we go. The bot boxer in. As we get ourselves into this first game. And over on the side of Navi, I mean, what do you prefer what Navi's got going on? Like some of the panel said, Tigo's saying this TB's going to have potential to have a pretty solid game.
TB plays into the Morph, who's a mid. That means that he's going to have to care about, there's a bunch of burst potential coming out just from the Morphling and Tiny. And with the last pick Centaur, they have ways of protecting the egg. There's an Oracle just sitting behind the TB. So that's going to be always a scary part. First wave. All right. HR just playing aggressive into meta.
Yeah, not too scared. It's sort of crystallized. I guess just between the two of them, King up, offering that little bit of sustain and regen. Celia's trying to make a bit of a move on Symphonic, but they're prepared for this. As HR don't mind taking a bit of a beating underneath the creeps. And this bottom lane, the safe flame Weaver. I mean, now what is the build on the carry Weaver? What sort of, what is your first time you look towards? Are you still getting stats on this hero, like the drums, or do you go for this like Feudal or Maelstrom or Destro? Like, what is the item you want to be rushing on a Weaver in this patch?
I mean, you can just start with the standard, 2 raid bands, magic one, see how things happen, get the power threads, and then decide. You're playing into a hero that has a ton of armor, so you might consider getting something like a Maelstrom. It also helps out with clearing the illusions. They don't have that much AoE. Morphin doesn't deal well with those. They have Tiny, but at one point you're gonna need to have something more. And I remember them running a position 5 Void Spirit. It just rings a bell. I don't think it ended well.
Okay. Let's hope for Hellraiser's sake that it ends a little better here for them in game 1. And so far, top lane, I mean, Ilias, he's going to get quite a punch here from Funny, because Funny guy out there, they're going to look for this first blood here. They may just get this. One more hit they can, but at least he's able to find the juice through the trees. He's got a cell popped.
Relocate out.
Yeah, just wait in the trees, get a few more XP from the creeps. You'll be there. You'll hit the 6. They'll take a long walk around and crystallize his farm. 10 for 3. He's still having a fine time up here. Not really too much being done by Funny King Eye in terms of slowing down the Terrorblades farm. And the mid lane 34, 33. I mean, the first few waves, the Ember keeping up in farm with the Morphling. Morph hasn't actually managed to get like a significant amount of denies. Which we do sometimes see happening, the Morph taking over that matchup on the other few levels when it comes to last setting.
Still, Ember doing much better than I expected.
Yeah.
You said, Morphling just takes over, but considering how good Young G is playing right now, I've been really impressed the way Young G played throughout the tournament. I mean, Navi's not been doing the greatest.
But his laning's been great, hasn't it?
Oh, Weaver.
Watch that red pull.
Still dead.
Yeah, didn't save him. Did stop the double edge, but didn't immersion, able to keep the spirits nicely placed onto Ego. Gets Navi this first blood down on the bottom lane.
This bottom lane, if it's not going well, you're gonna need to rely on your mid morph to do stuff. How's Tiny doing? 11, 12 CS against 14 on TB. They're catching up every single time meta is down. They need to start playing aggressive, and I see everyone just wants to buy a raindrop. This is the item that keeps you alive. It's about that regen sustain in the laning phase. Weaver bought one, but it was a bit too late.
We'll see again. I mean, just with an avalanche, a few punches, a lot of damage down bottom. Pasha. Oh, he's gonna live there again. Some nice moves from Immersion, getting the Fire Spirits out onto Ego, slowing his attack speed so he couldn't quite finish off the Centaur kill. And again, just getting him incredibly low in this lane. They're gonna have to pop another salve here to keep Ego in the neighborhood, but already struggling to place this Phoenix.
Weaver's going for 1-1-1 build, which means that your Shikuchi is gonna be on cooldown for most of the time. You can't just use it aggressively. Level 1 Shikuchi, level 1 Swashbuckle, one of the worst spells you can use to play aggressive. You might put yourself in trouble.
I mean, mid lane.
Young G.
He's honestly, as you say, 25-7-9 for 6. This is just straight up outplay, right? This is Young G doing very well in a matchup that we've seen many mids folded.
This is definitely a matchup that he should not win.
Yeah.
He's playing extremely well. I mean, we're not just focusing on the mid lane, we're watching the other lanes as well. But considering how he's been playing, he's pushing the wave onto the Morphling, getting the seeds also underneath the tower. So far, so good. Getting the rune. No one's actually checking the rune. Also, that double damage did so much.
Yeah, I have to get a lot tonight. Kasani's gonna have to be a little careful. The level's gonna be good on this Ember. He's just gonna be able to continue to just harass Kasani anytime that it comes near the wave.
And now Ember Spirit is level 6, which so he can just TP out whenever he's low, even though he's full HP, full mana, refills the bottle, comes back to on lane, continues to pressure. I'm not a big fan of the Spirit Vessel build. We see more and more players just getting away from it on the mid Ember, but I think this game, it's a great item. You're playing you're playing against a Morph. It also gives you tankiness and much more kill potential early on with just a Urn of Shadow charge.
Yeah, with the farm that he's getting, he's going to be able to get it nice and quickly, and also there's nothing to remove it right on Hellraiser's side. There's no sort of dispel or save, so you are going to get very good use out of it against these heroes that do so rely on their regen. Young G again, able to find the next power rune, regen rune as well, so he can play nice and aggressive for situations where he's going to be able to get in and out of the fights. Yet to really see any movements between the lanes, everything remaining relatively static.
After the recent changes to Centaur, we see more Centaurs if they're not playing against AM, when they just max out Aura and put 1 point in stun. In this kind of a lane, you want to go all in with the max damage output. No points in Aura, since you don't get the damage anymore to push the towers.
Yeah, but this sort of a build, it makes it, it means that Ego's got to be very careful when he tries to secure in aggressively. If they have detection down, he gets caught in a stomp and a double edge. That plus one of the Phoenix's spells, he's going to be dying every time before he hits 6 in this lane. So, meaning that Ego has to play very carefully, can't really rely on the Shikuchi to go for CS either. has to get back, especially with Youngji making the move. Youngji is going to be able to walk in, get the chains out to Miposhka. That will be at least one of them by the looks of it. Does jump out to the side to simulate, and actually with the TP over from King R's in with the backup. They can turn. Now look over towards Youngji. Miposhka being healed up. Another change comes out though, and there's the catch. Pasha just walks into the loose stop. They couldn't turn. They shouldn't have turned. Navi were ready to blow them up, and those points and the skills as we were talking about, Pasha, just you've got to be so careful anywhere where this Centaur could turn up in the early game, as it's just so much magical damage and control.
Hellraisers, they have no stuns if they don't bring Tiny, so it's very hard. It's a position 5 Void Spirit, which means that, you know, that Remnant's not going to be maxed out. The laning stage for them at the bottom was really not perfect. He's only level 4 8 minutes in. I mean, you're not getting the skill, you might just get the rune. Nice one. Even though he would prefer anything else. Yeah, nothing to dispel, you know.
Yeah, nothing too amazing here with the illusion. But still, he's going to feel good that he's got hold of all 3 of them so far at this point. They have superior rune control down bottom. There's the setup. Very nicely done there. As they lead in with the stomp. Follow-up chains. They've got more than enough to hold that Weaver in place and blow him up. And Ego's game starting to really take a hit down on this bottom lane as Navi are definitely putting pressure onto this Weaver early. They know that they've got a very solid way of shutting him down in the early game.
I'm afraid how they're gonna make a move. Like, they need a Blink Dagger on Tiny. This is their item. He just bought a full drums, I believe, just a recipe off, but very close to it. And he's get some good levels on the top lane. You want to have those spells maxed out, join a team fight. I mean, it's a 4-0 for Navi, but in terms of net worth, it's not even a full 1k gold lead for them.
Yeah, keeping it pretty even with the way that they've been able to CS, especially as you say in this top lane fighting, getting a lot of room. But when it comes to playmaking, Hellraiser's going to have a lot they need to do, whether it be trying to catch these elusive heroes like the Ember and the Centaur, or just, you know, how are they going to get inside of the jungle of Navi and start to slow down this Terrorblade? Because if they don't get over Navi's side of the map, Crystallize will be able to just hit creeps and outfarm the cause of Hellraisers.
There's no real follow-up unless they bring Tiny, and Tiny for now on, you know, just being on the top lane, dominating those creep waves.
Oh, dude, did you see that?
What did he do?
Do you like this? What? Morph Midas.
Yeah, I noticed. I did not want to mention it. Maybe he changes his mind, you know.
Okay.
We've seen NIP, I believe yesterday, when they had the Jug and Morph.
Yeah.
Jug went for Midas against the TB. Not very efficient item.
So, am I crazy? Is this something Morphs have been doing, or?
I have not seen it.
No. Oh, bottom lane, Immersion. He will fall here. So, Hellraisers able to get themselves their first kill on the board. But yeah, the Morph Midas will be done soon. A few hundred gold away from it. And we'll see if it pays off for Kasani. As pretty much most Morphs in this position, they would be buying the Morbin Mask, hitting jungle creeps, the Kasani.
That sustain, yeah. Whenever I see
a
item build, especially something like this one, I ask myself why.
Like there's so many Morph games, there's so many people playing this here at the top level, and you've decided that they're wrong and you're right, and you're going for something different.
Just trying to stay positive here, you know, see the big picture, but the big picture just says greedy all over the place.
Bottom, Pasha, he's able to get away with that.
If they can get away with that, you know, you're playing in the Oracle, so your shotgun can easily be mitigated by just one good Oracle. Diliat has been on point with this place. They use egg.
Yeah, nicely done it. The setup allowing them to have enough time for the egg to go off, still catch Funnick in the range of it all. Kasani though with this pressure. He's managed to take the tier 1 nice and early, 11 minutes in. Miposhka also by his side. That's the Midas sound done. Use it. There we go. So Midas up and running for the Morph. So Youngji, he's going to poke back, but yeah, not a lot that he can do here. In fact, Youngji's got to be a little careful. Got the movement speed though, and has got Elise coming in from the side. So no further pressure going to be put onto this Ember. But yeah, I guess maybe this is the plan. You know, Hellraisers, as you say, in terms of making plays, a lot of it rides on Tiny. They're just going to sort of leave that up to Funnick, and the other two cores, they're just going to farm.
If they can get away with it, and so far, so good. I mean, they only got 1 kill. He's 5.5k in terms of net worth. He can, you know, start getting the items. It's a lot of attack speed, 40 attack speed on that item.
Yeah, I mean, 12 minutes in, just 5-1. Again, similar to the series beforehand, it's just not the most action. Immersion will go down here, it's top lane. Funny, can you go find him? So far, Navi, only Immersion that's been the one to give up kills. Navi have come in with the smoke towards top. So if they can set something up, they are going to need Young G to go in and set things up with the chain.
They're playing underneath the ward.
Young G showing Funny. Almost aware that there's maybe more behind, but it's gonna take the message here with Young G going that this isn't a place they want to push on for more, as Navi clearly want to defend.
There needs to be a synergy between the items, between your heroes. Like Tiny getting a drums before, he does not want to get a blink dagger straight away here. He's playing that position 3. Does not want to be just unblinking in, using a blink dagger, try to burst someone down. And, you know, I'm going to get one item since we're not going to fight. Our Morph has a Midas, so let's just slow it down a bit.
Coming in with a relocate play, they'll be able to burst Crystallize. Nice read there from Hellraisers. Funny with the setup. Bringing in Kasani at this stage, they're going to have a huge amount of magic burst to deal with the Terror Blade just between the Adaptive Strike and Phoenix combo. Crystallize is going to have to be a little more careful when he's coming out on the map. Obviously felt that he was safe in this area, but they did have a ward down, Hellraisers, so would have seen him step over the river and enter that camp. So nice punish there from Hellraisers to slow down Crystallize that a little bit.
I was talking about Spirit Vessel Carrier on Navi. So, yeah, they have Phoenix, and he's getting a lot of farm. Bought a crown. Maybe there was like a bit of miscommunication there. Who's gonna get it? Like if you buy a crown as a first item, you want to get that meteor hammer as fast as possible. It's one of the best items right now you can get on Phoenix. But Ember Spirit decided to go for drums.
Yeah, going for the more standard, as you say. I mean, is it just sort of the nature of the item that the changes that's meant that it's fallen out of favor for like your mid laners to be the ones to build?
You need to buy something. Like, what do you buy with the 1500 gold? That's the question. Like, you can't start buying 4 raid bands or 4 bracers. You need to get a bigger item, even though it got nerfed. 2 less. It got nerfed, right? Yeah, it did. 2 less stats on the drums, but still, great item, especially
across the board. It's the item to buy,
especially against the Phoenix. Yeah, they don't have the best egg hitters. You have Weaver, okay. Morphling is the one who's going to be doing the job, but if they're separated from the egg, you pop that drum and kill the egg. Midas, come on.
Here we get Midas. There we go. I mean, it's looking good, buddy. He hasn't been punished for it at all. He's getting a lot, Kasani. 7,600. This more tree farmers, it's hit a level that it wouldn't be if he didn't have that Midas. And Navi's not been able to do too much. They got those 5 kills early on, but things have slowed down. And Navi almost showing that they want to play the slow game, rely on the farm from the Terror Blade. But he's just going to be able to be that bit more farm than the TB at this rate throughout the game if they don't do something about him.
I thought Navi will start grouping up earlier with the TB meta, pressuring the towers. So far, it did not happen. He only died once when he showed on the bottom lane. Now, just hitting the jungle creeps. And Morphling getting that Manta style, he sees Urn of Shadows being built on Phoenix. So once that, look at it, attack speed, Jesus.
I mean, if he farms fast between that and King Art buffing him up, he just punches through the creeps. I mean, 15 minutes in, they're going to be able to put some damage onto this tier 2 top. Navi's got to respond if they want to keep hold of it. They'll put the fortification. If that's going to be enough to send Hellraisers back, as Kasani is still hovering around. At the same time, Aposhka and Funnick making the smoke movements down bottom, maybe seeing if they find Crystallize without again in the same position. But Crystallize is back in his own triangle, keeping it a little safer.
Smoke and smoke. And
they're going to head over here, Hellraisers, and if anything, they will catch Crystallize on his own. The rest of Navi as well, but can these 2 heroes get them off? They'll get him with the jump. Have they got enough burst? Crystallize gets the opportunity to turn and use the Sunder. They won't be able to finish him, and now the counterplay comes in from Navi. Funnick will manage to TP out of there, but Poshka, he actually might just make it away as well, and he does, but Poshka with the Astral Step to the low ground and the TP out. Very nice disengage there from Hellraisers. Sure, unfortunate that they didn't kill Crystallize, but they don't lose anyone for it, and they do force a reaction from Navi.
Hellraisers showing 2 heroes on the top lane, pressuring the tier 2 tower, so you don't expect this kind of a play. You know, Tiny and the Void Spirit just playing a different part of the map.
Yeah.
They did not have Reel already, and this is something that they should be more aware of on side of Navi. Tiny Tavo. That's a name I've not heard in a while. So yeah, Tiny blinking in, using Avatar's combo into relocate. Should be enough to bring TB from 100 to 0.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, having that little extra bit will do it each and every time. Funnick, he's making quick plays with the blink straight over, has the wall down, he's got the vision, and he takes the life of Ilias. They're starting to make some good moves here, Hellraisers, and they're only, getting further and further ahead. This Morph, I mean, you said it, once he has the Manta, it's going to be rather hard for Navi to deal with him. Navi have got to step it up a little bit. They're looking around mid. They're able to finish this tier 1 tower off, but it's a similar time where they're already losing that tier 2 top. The Hellraisers, they're going to have the opportunity of claiming both the outposts before the 20 minutes. They're even going to have the chance to maybe hold on to mid as Ego comes over with the TP. He's going to look to start pushing Navi away. Extra TP's coming in, but Poshka, he's going to jump on the side. Will dodge the Houston there, but simulate Funnick in. Looking for the avalanche, has got it onto the 3 of them, tosses the centaur over to them, but Navi's got the fight. Metamorphosis is popped, Crystallize, he's ready to fight back. They get the chains out to Funnick, Funnick will fall, the tower does go down. So Navi able to at least hold their ground, get it there with Meta of Crystallize, getting him involved. So if he can catch anything else here, is Ego. He's been found, have they got the burst? They haven't. Ego's able to pop the time lapse, and he's taken out the safety there as King R comes in with a relocate. Gets Ego to the side. Navi, they've got to be prepared for this because Hellraisers, they're starting to close in. They may try and fight back. Are they going to bring the Weaver back in? They are. They want to try and continue this going. King R will fall for it. And, okay, they'll just Shikuchi away. They did bring the Weaver back, but no intentions to fight back there as the rest of them didn't want to turn and try and go in towards a fight where the Metamorphosis was still available and going.
I like the plan from Hellraisers to just go in, try to defend that tier 1 tower. Alright, can he get out of one? The simulate, not even gonna be casted.
Yeah, no,
so yeah, the Weaver TPs to tier 1 tower, scouts things out with the bugs, gives the vision, but Tiny fails to do a full combo on one target, and then they immediately need to bail. I'm not liking the items that I'm seeing on Weaver. I saw Yasha being cute, or thank God he changed it. Like getting that Maelstrom, just having some extra tankiness, and having Morph on your team, you can, also go for more of a utility items on Weaver. You don't necessarily need to get damage since you have a carry. This should be. They're gonna do. They'll get away with heroes for them. There's a ton of damage coming up from the illusions and the bugs.
Yeah, nice.
Midas. I mean, that's always worse. Drag a creep.
Oh no, the efficiency.
Would you use a waveform just to use Midas?
I would be out of that pit, Lacoste. I would be like, dude, we gotta wait. Can we just hold for a second? But they give themselves the Roshan. Aegis is theirs.
And Hellraisers, they're itemizing for late game. You see Weaver's getting the items to get the damage. Tiny Echo Saber being queued up on him as well. So that means you're gonna have 3 scaling heroes, and you have this Void Spirit who goes in, creates a lot of chaos, scout things out, can easily get out without even dying.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Navi do if the game scales on, because clearly, at the start, they saw that the Morph was going for this Midas. They didn't punish it, they weren't doing those moves, as you said, that they could have maybe gone away with running down lanes very early with the TB Metamorphosis, and now has meant that Kasani's just continuing to farm. He's going to scale incredibly well, and still Crystallize is just sort of left in his wake. He's 3k behind as the TB.
This is a big kill if they can get him. They're gonna actually burst him down. I see.
Jump on King R. That means a free escape for Kasani. Out of the 2 of them, not necessarily the big one. Sure, there would have been a relocate, but maybe they would have had a way to stop it. So, let's move. Let's push them off that top lane, but still not killing Kasani. He's out and continues to live.
Bet's still favoring Navi. So very surprised to see that. I feel like Hellraisers are in control. We still did not see the full Navi lineup going 5-man strong with the TB. Also, have we seen Oracle use Ulti this game? I don't think so.
No, I guess, there hasn't been too much action, and for the most part, he hasn't needed to. I mean, 2 of those times that Navi actually lost heroes was Immersion, early in the lanes, and yeah, other than that, there hasn't been a situation where Navi's just gone in as 5 and popped the ults, actually got usage out of the 6s when they were hit. Bottom lane, see Ego, able able to get out with the time. But Young G's coming in, does have the follow chains. They'll have enough burst here to clear out the Weaver. Navi will respond to Hellraisers trying to take a poke towards the tier 1 bottom.
The Weaver is a very tough kill to get, but they have Clumsy Net, which is one of the best items you can get for tier 2. It's controlling so many heroes against the Morph, Void Spirit, Weaver, just holding them in place. And they also brought multiple dust, which you need to have. After the time lapse and the spells, I need brown boots into Echo Saber. I would love to see him just upgrading the boots, either power treads or phase boots.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things that, as I say, for me, it's when you're playing, it's always tempting because you're like, I don't want fancy boots when I could have my Echo Saber quicker, but it's just what it is, a lot of lost value, right, if you're not actually upgrading the boots to one of those two.
It's a lot of damage, especially with the Echo Saber. You want to upgrade that item.
I'm trying for a sneaky grab down to Young G, but the Remnant not quite able to catch him amongst the creeps. Young G out, going for the BKB next after the drums and Maelstrom to make sure that he doesn't get threatened by the high magical burst of Hellraisers. They're starting to push around on the bottom. Echo Saber done for Funix, so still a lot of burst. He and the Morph can find their target in Kasani. That E-Blade is only going to be coming in sooner and sooner. He's probably getting very close to it.
Aegis is gone in a minute and a half, so they want to take a fight right now. They want to get usage of that Aegis. He gets the tower, is going to have enough money to actually buy a full E-Blade.
I mean, this Morph is super farmed. This is a very scary Morphling right now. As long as Kasani doesn't make any mistakes in these fights.
Doesn't even get the last hit on the tower. Okay, that range creep doing all the work. Every single time I'm trying to take away a tower and there's a range creep, like I'm doing the math. I'm taking out the piece of paper, or let's see how much damage is he doing, waiting for that last hit.
Kasani didn't get the calculator out. He's got his item, and Hellraiser's there up on the high ground with smoke. May catch Navi off guard. Pasha, ooh, he was prepared, or was he? He blinks back to what he thought would be safety, but there is the surprise waiting here from Hellraisers. Kasani trying to get in, Crystallize, comes in with the TP. They're going to pop the stampede to reset. Pasha, he's in. Burst Kasani to watch. Back the Aegis gone over towards the high ground. He looks to push back Funix. Funix trying to run, but another Clumsy Net holds him down. Crystallize is able to get him, reach of him. Funix trying to hide amongst the trees, but Crystallize will still find him. 2 kills for Navi. Maybe even more. Kasani, he's being chased. They've got the chains control. But trying to play himself in terms of safety, but there's so much magical damage coming out. He's burning. The Supernova Stun will catch him. Navi, they punch back hard here, taking off the Aegis, killing off 3, maybe even more. Maposhka's trying to hide in the trees, but the Sunray from Immersion will find him. That's 4 dead as Navi respond with a very strong hold around that tier 2.
The plan was to Centaur and just try to go from the back line, but they don't have enough damage. That's a Centaur with the full hooked Abracer sitting on 2000 HP. You can't just bring him down with the tiny and position 5 Void Spirit from 100 to 0. There's no way.
No, I mean, you saw Hellraisers. They felt they were going for the big brain play there, forcing him to back up and then coming in with the wraparound. But just nowhere near enough damage to actually quite go for it. Maybe if they were able to catch him with that initial waveform, but once he was behind that tier 2 tower, the easiest of responses for Navi to come in and, you know, that's sort of the scenarios you dream of as a Terrorblade, where the enemy team has just sort of dived in upon you. You just turn up meta and they've got to run. Crystallize is cleaning up. Now he's got a Skadi, Manta, Dragonlance. This Terrorblade is going to be infinitely more scary to fight into, and in a game where Kasani, he was leading the way, Crystallize, he's all but caught up. He's back on an even. This Terrorblade, a very big issue now for Hellraisers, and as we saw there, Kasani's got to be careful how he overextends. This Spirit Vessel and the ability of Navi to be able to turn and blow him up with the magical damage they have really threatens him in these fights. And Ego, still, he's just struggling to have much impact at all as the Weaver. He's 0, 4, and 2. Just not able to get much done to carry
I mean, Miposhka is involved in 1 kill. I mean, they have 4 kills, so that's like 25%, but still, you need to be doing more on the map, and I love the itemization from Crystallize in this game. Yasha into Skadi. Skadi just destroys Morphling. The new addition of the health reduction, it's insanely good.
Yeah.
I remember the game where Viking They had Spectre with the Scotty, they had Spirit Vessel, and they had Shiva's Guard on one of their heroes when they were playing against the Morphin. Like, Morphin could not do shit.
Like, you just can't hit right, and you're dead. You're dying. You're just constantly dying in the fights. Doesn't matter what button you press, how much stats you shift around, you are going to be dying throughout the entirety of that fight. And in terms of saves, the save from Hellraisers, the heals, that's not going to be able to do much at all to help you against that sort of offense from Navi. Best thing he can do is take you out of the fight, and if he's taking you out of the fight, you're retreating. You're not winning the fight. So definitely...
That's a great point. Yeah, if you lose,
if you know,
you're not winning.
Yeah, if you leave the fight, you lose in the fight.
It's still one of the best feelings in Dota for me. You know, you kill one guy and then you feel they're weak and you start chasing them. This is the peak Dota for me. You know, kick them when they're down. Kill the rest. I'm talking about Dota, you know. I'm not talking about real life kill anyone.
No,
don't get me wrong.
Don't do that. Just in the game, you can kill as many people as you want in the game. That is, I'm not the aim. The aim is to destroy the enemy ancient, but kill as many people in the game on the way. And Navi, I mean, yeah, things just suddenly look a lot tougher for Hellraisers now. Down 5k. And, you know, despite Kasani having this very nice game, very nice farm on the Morph, it just feels like there's so much weight on him. But Navi, they've got the counters, as we talked about in the items. And then when you look outside of the Morph, it's down to the Weaver. And then it's just very hard to see what this Weaver's actually going to do. This isn't a carry that lots of people are playing around with. What can it actually offer you? Kasani is getting gone on there. He will be able to take him out.
Oh, blow misses.
Okay, he's still in the area. They may think that he got out anyway. Yeah, it turns into immersion and we'll be able to dive out. But this IO, he's in a whole lot of trouble now as King R comes back and has a rude waiting here from Navi, waiting to punish him as soon as he returns.
It seems like Hellraisers, they did have a bad read on how much farm TB has and how much damage he can do.
It just seems like what do you do in this position if you're Hellraisers? Your strongest hero, the Morph, has a lot of things that are very hard for him to fight into. You don't really have anything else other than the Morph in this game. Sure, Funny had, you know, those couple of kills that he was able to hit when he got the good blink timing, but other than that, your Tiny and your Weaver, it's just how do these heroes play into Navi's lineup?
Weaver's not having a game. Like, she's level 17 right now. BKB, yeah, these are some okay. Adam Fort in the network chart, same farm as Ember, but if you see what Weaver's doing compared to, let's say, Phoenix position 4, Phoenix does so many more things.
You can feel it as well from Navi that they know that they are in control of this one. Just holding the river, making sure that Hellraisers cannot get out to make any sort of moves, maintaining rune control. Crystallize, more than happy to step up to the high ground. I mean, he just doesn't feel threatened right now. He knows that Hellraisers, they can't 100 to 0 him if they jump upon him. Kasani himself trying to get the Skadi done so he got some sort of way to punch back reliably, have a bit of right click on himself other than just the burst from the E-Blade. Passion, gonna find a jump onto the Tiny, makes trouble, the stab he popped as well. Funny, can King R do anything to save him? He will take him out in time with the reload. They got the Crystallize, focusing Ego trying to run. Young Key looking for the chase, won't be able to catch on to Funny or King R. They will both live. King R, of course, he's going to be on his way back into the middle of them though, and cannot tether out to safety. King R will fall. Looks like Kasani tried to come close to offer up a tether target. It has to be careful though with Crystallize punching into him. He'll step out of there. But again, it's just Navi being able to do whatever they want on the map. Roshan's up. They'll head over for this. And you look at Hellraiser's lineup, there's no way they can fight into this Rosh. This is an easy Roshan for Navi. The best thing they can hope for is maybe an Aegis Steel.
Yeah, that's it. I was always wondering what R stands in King R's nickname, and now I know. Relocate.
Oh, there we go. And he's trying his best with them, but the King has died every time on the return. This Rosh, it just feels very hard for Hellraisers to do much, right? And you can sort of feel it in the way they're playing. It's what do they do?
And they're so confident right now. They gave Aegis to their Ember Spirit. They feel that with Oracle behind him, PV cannot die. Holding a cheese for now is going to have a full butterfly in a second, and going to hit level 20.
Crystallize is huge. There you go. It's got the time lapse on the BKB. We'll jump back up. BKB pops out. We'll keep him safe. Nothing to catch him through the BKB, but still, it's just your carry Weaver having a BKB and run. It's kind of the best thing that you can do this game. Other than that, he can't do much at all. There's Navi 10k lead. DD rune as well. Crystallized Mantiscati. Here we go. So DD Terrorblade ready to go high ground in 50 seconds. If Navi want to play it to their best potential, wait for the meta.
I feel they could still win a team fight with DB just being in a melee mode.
Oh yeah.
Enchanted Quiver, that's a decent item on a Weaver who's kind of position 1 in this game, but I'm just not feeling it.
Funny. What's he doing over it? He's dying by the looks of it. As they are starting to hemorrhage kills. Maposhka as well. It's getting a little sloppy now, Lacosta.
It is. Navi did not get a single kill, I believe, for 20 minutes.
Navi?
Sorry, Hellraisers. Oh, let's push play.
Oh, hang on, here we go. So they can't fight him, but they can go for the rat. And they do a little damage. It's something, they get something done objectively, but still, Navi don't care. Terrorblade's gonna come back, and Crystallized will start to bring top lane with illusions, but he's gonna be heading straight back towards mid. As we say, he's got that DD, he's got the meta, got the cheese, level 20. He is ready to go high ground because, you know, why not? He's that big right now that Hellraisers cannot really... I mean, they may not even be able to get to him. Navi have a lot of ways to stop the heroes from making a run towards him.
Pasha with the gem, so they can find Weaver. Time lapse already used. Pasha did not die a single time this game. I mean, there has to be one hero who didn't die one time.
That's good math.
Gets the 4 kills. Also, look at the score. The 420. Nice.
Nice. I'm sure the chat noticed that one immediately. They probably noticed that one when it was a few kills away. That's one of the fan favourites. As that's, yeah, I mean, it feels like the bottom lane just didn't really do much this game, right? Maposhka on the support Void Spirit, this carry Weaver, it just kind of did nothing this game.
Yeah, now I'm starting to remember that game that I talked about when they already played Position 5 Void Spirit, just getting the flashbacks. Pretty much the same outcome.
Yeah. Oh,
hey, they got the Aegis.
Nice Aegis. I mean, they get into tier 3. They are losing a second set of racks, though, I believe, over on the other side of the base. But they're finding something in return. They got the tier 3 tower.
They stopped the TP.
Oh, and they killed Ilias, but it's going to come at the cost of Funnick losing his own life. But they got the... Kasani's doing it. He's doing it. He's getting trades. He did manage to take away the top set of racks. Maybe, you know, they cannot fight Navi, but again, it's not a game about killing, it's a game about destroying the enemy's base, and they start to do at least a bit of that. Poshka will fall outside of the base, but Kasani, he's coming in for the cleanup. He's able to find Pasha, over towards Crystallize he goes, Crystallize starting to run. Crystallize turning to look to slow down the reflection, there's going to be a buyback from Ilias, and in fact he's turning straight out of the mall. And as soon as he does so, King Art with the relocate will take the Morphling out of there, back up to the top lane.
This is the kind of play you need to do if you want to game. Yeah. Because right now there was a 50k gold lead for Navi, now back to 12. They are only 1 racks down when you compared it. It's one of those plays, you know, that what do we do now? Like, we feel like we can't fight them, so try to force them to do something else. Full Shiva's Guard on Phoenix. These 3 items completely destroy Morphling. Shiva, Scotty, and Spirit's Vessel.
Oh, well, the double Shiva's Guard. Immersion's got one, and we've just had one picked up by the Ember as well, Young G. So
I just stacked them.
I mean, just the uptime, you know, play between the 2 of them, and the coverage as well in the fights. I mean, Navi, you know, even for losing that top set of racks, they are 2 racks up, and it does seem to be as simple as just pushing out this top lane, looking to clean up the final 3rd set of racks from the base of Hellraisers.
In this kind of a game, I wish Weaver went for more utility items, how the game developed. If she had Aghanim Scepter, I mean, Morph is the carry.
Yeah, you just sort of build all around Kasani. I mean, we are seeing the potential of Kasani when he did come into that last fight when Navi were trying to retreat. He was able to get a couple of kills, I mean, it hasn't been the most sort of bloodthirsty game for Hellraisers, as you see 37 minutes in, just 2-1 and 0 on your mid laner. Sonny needs help. He needs help. He needs an ad. The BKB turns over towards Passion. We'll take out Passion. And Poshka out front, jumping towards the back lines. They'll look towards Immersion Motion. Going for the Supernova. They can't take it out. They've got to run from Crystallize. Funny trying to hide in the trees. Crystallize has got the reach. Takes out a third. It's a triple kill for him. Over to Kasani he goes. Kasani zips away with a waveform, trying to escape King Up. He's going to be back out in a second, but he's not going to get the chance to make it away as Immersion burns him down. Over to Kasani they go. With the vessel upon him. Ultra kill set up for Crystallize. And Navi, they'll win another easy team fight. 28-7, 18k lead. And they can resume pushing in on this top lane.
If they take out the best part of the equation, the outcome is going to be Navi. They understand that there's no healing, there's no extra attack speed. Morph looks scary throughout the whole game, but TB just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, the Kasani Midas, I think that was the only thing.
$1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Zep misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, from the low ground, on to 3, Zep as well as M1 are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me? From the low ground.
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned up by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Showit looking for a Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Showit pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tong Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tong Fu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. He just goes to Tong Fu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed the Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Denny. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's light of heaven with this BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60, still alive at the moment. And all the use, the dodge, Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stall of Ninja Jerax sets up onto FY. OG.
So this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And some mail, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna bites some mail. The Colt's burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with some mail down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dodge! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the Wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Samael is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Arme. Gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find the stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the backline. The BKB, they're into the backline. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she's stunned on the way through. Is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. 7 from the side with a take on Arme, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very very low life Marana, but OG, they can't find the target. X Nova, he's got the grip, he's got the control, he's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo slam.
Oh, there it is.
Pushing forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from
Another-
Sep misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, from the long ground, on to 3! Step as well as number 1 are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Shao looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shower pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Hell brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain, and waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesis back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say mega creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side. They find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. Oh, the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The Stolen Vision Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
that this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Sumail, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna bites Sumail. The Colts boom. The Colts burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Sumail down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4 on 5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5 on 5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the Wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Sumail is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Ame, gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find a stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the back line. The BKB, they're into the back line. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. ES is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Ame from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a love, but Ame, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there, protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches the life. Army's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. Seven from the side with a take on Arme, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Marana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo slam on.
It is Dire's banner now.
What was it before we go into the draft?
I don't know. I have the song in mind. We're still.
I thought you were gonna propose me a song.
I thought so too.
Yeah, that's how he made it sound. What do you think about this?
No. No, you didn't know where.
I know what you're singing.
Okay, there you go.
Leon, but
yeah. See, how iconic is a song if you can literally just hold one note and you know exactly what it is.
I'll always love you.
Me too.
Okay, on that note, let's head over to the draft pension. I'll leave these two in peace for a little bit. Let's over to game 2, Hellraisers versus Navi. Let's go.
Turn to ban. Dire's turn to pick.
And I will always love Tier 2. Welcome back, Navi versus Hellraisers, game number 2. Gentlemen, BSJ, T-Governor, we're just kind of seeing more of the same. It was the... Thank you. Give me that angel wings, angel thump, whatever it is. More of the same, that it seems like these immortal teams were rightfully in the immortal bracket. There were questions you had in the previous draft about the Morphling, Terrorblade, carry-to-carry matchup. Were any of them answered, or was this more just teams being better than other teams?
I'm sure friggin' Hellraisers is getting coached by someone like T-Gov, and they said, hey, we're going to use our 4,000 gold lead Aegis to go on the Centaur underneath his own Tier 2, and we're going to chuck this game into the dumpster.
Sounds familiar, huh?
No, not at all. No, I think just Hellraisers really lack a lot of just cohesiveness in terms of their like setting up the Morphling, right? Sure, you have Morphling TB, but when the rest of your lineup as Hellraisers-esque, as like they always have flexibility in picks, right? You see the Void Spirit going down to 5. They're trying to be like them in the draft while still countering their opponent. It doesn't always work. They need to stick to their guns and be able to, you know, push through with a clear timing. Because that Morphling pick, it did nothing for them. They were never going to be able to win that game. Simply on the 5v5 fight, Navi wins pretty much every time. Sure, you can be cute with relocate, but if that is your playstyle, you are never winning the game if you're praying for like the mistake from your opponent who's already so far ahead.
I don't know. If you pick Dio Morphling, I'm not saying it's the best playstyle to play right now, but this is like TI7 liquid stuff. You're split pushing. Like, you're not fighting them. You have literally tiny IO Morphling Weaver.
What you sound like.
There's actually no point in the game where you fight them.
So then I am curious, do you consider there to be a dominant playstyle right now that you think is objectively better? Because there have been eras of like...
to be able to 5-man at 8 point and just...
Yeah.
So skirmish.
Clash.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Being able to...
There's been an era of like Death Ball, ratting, big team fights, stuff like that. You're saying that this is high frequency fights.
It's about laning phase presence converting into accessing the key objective that your team wants, be it, you know, jungle control, Roshan, maybe just constant pickoffs, right? Objectives are different, but being able to pivot into some type of forward play is normally the good one. Again, Secret normally are the best team in the world, but they play a little bit different where they're normally reactionary. They won't try and always seek out these plays, but they'll play for the fact that they will eventually just outscale you, and their greediness is their factor. The issue is this type of playstyle doesn't work for every team. When they copy Secret, they just get picked apart a lot easier, a lot quicker, and that's why you never see a true mirroring of these tier 2 teams pushing into Secret, for example. Going into this game, I believe the adjustment was Hellraisers have second pick again, but they're, you know, banning out the Phoenix. I think that is pretty critical, because that Phoenix, it was simplifies Navi's team fight, right? We've seen it so many times. Can't kill the egg, it's whatever.
Funny observation I heard from the other panel is that it doesn't seem like anything happens in the first 10 minutes of these games for the Divine League. Big difference between that and Immortal. And I realized that it's actually a similar mentality and I'm going to be honest with you. I've realized it's because you just don't know any better.
Okay.
You have, like, it's really hard. It's really easy, I would rather say, to be like, I have this item. I'm now stronger, and I can capitalize on this strength to do something in the game. It's actually pretty hard to recognize, like, our heroes just innately, with our abilities at this exact time, are stronger than theirs. It's actually really hard to do that. I'm still working on that. I think it's an incredibly difficult awareness that only tier 1 teams really have.
I think the experience differential in range creeps has kind of helped people visualize that a little bit better, because everyone's so obsessed about denying the range creeps, getting the range creeps, and you're like, I gotta hit this level 2 skill point so that I finally have like that little tiny advantage in the lane. And I think that's kind of starting to, I don't know, waypoint to people that like, there are earlier power spikes than just items all the time.
Yeah, it can just be 6 minutes in, even just a casual 5 rotating to the offlane. Those are big things that I see a lot in tier 1 Dota that is not nearly as common.
The issue though in this like previous game is the lanes didn't go as well that Hellraisers want to, right? Their draft was built around those laning phase, and the Weaver was already being pressured from the Centaur Phoenix.
Yeah, he was not supposed
and
to.
Navi was making the moves first, right? So it's Navi, they want to be chill, they want to relax anyways, right? Their draft is about waiting. You look at Hellraisers, their draft was about winning. When they don't win, they then have to also go for the same suit. So sure, we're not seeing the right moves, but it's mainly about the impact in laning phase, which I think is the key thing. It's not the moves on the map and the overall gameplay, it's the fact that the lanes aren't going as cleanly as we see in the Immortal bracket, and that's why the game feels a little bit slower, because teams are one team's in recovery mode and the other team is in, we can still just farm because we're not being punished because we've already outplayed them, right? So I think that's the main thing, other than these points.
Well, to go off that, one of my favorite points to always reiterate almost every event I'm at is that one team is always happy with nothing going on in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always one team. Sometimes both teams, but usually one is like much more in favor. It's like, okay, if nothing happens, we'll get to our power spike in like 5 minutes and we'll be stronger than them. Like, usually it's with the implication that the opponent at the current moment is stronger than you, but it also might just be that you'll be stronger than them at 4 or 5 minutes from now. So why do anything now? And all you're playing is reactionary defensive Dota. And that's honestly, in these type of series where I do believe Navi's the better team, if they're the team that wants a slow game, that's probably what we're going to see. If they're the team that wants a fast, high tempo game, that's probably what we'll see, because usually the better team will dictate what's going on in the game.
I like from Hellraisers the respect they're showing. Even though they pick up this Ember, or projected the Ember pick, it's the bans are still Drow, TB, Storm. All heroes that you would expect Ember to be pretty good against, right? So it's the expectation that Ember might have been banned, so we still have to cover ourselves from these heroes. And overall, I like the adjustment Hellraisers have made so far from that first game, because they were pretty much like hinged around this IO. Get rid of that factor. Again, not banned, not touched in the series, but it allows Hellraisers to actually take the fights. The reason why they were so strong in previous tournaments was because they are one of the teams that has that flex potential with most of their cores, going all the way down from like carry to support, for example. But also, they're so good at their early fighting and just being dominant. When you have an IO in your team, they can't do that. So happy to see Hellraisers aren't as stubborn as some of the Immortal teams, for example, when they're in a best of 3 situation.
I'm kind of confused though. Hellraisers has not drafted a single ounce of teamfight yet.
That's what I meant about skirmishing. They're a skirmishy fight, non-stop in-your-face team rather than...
But they just never have teamfight.
Well, it's the element of fighting. They might layer in with their last 2 picks, but the concept so far is...
It is the same. I'm seeing like consistency with... I agree with you. That is exactly what we're seeing, but I do believe to some extent that like you can't just have... I want teams to have their own flair, but...
There are shortcomings.
Yeah, there's definitely a line you have to draw between meta and flair. You have to meet it halfway. But so far,
that's
I'm not
thing that I thought have been an issue with earlier Liquid is that they really like teamfight, and there's such a thing as going too far on the other end of the spectrum and being too cooldown dependent.
Yeah,
now you have an RP.
So in terms of like the skirmish, having a quick look through, they always seem to have like one element of teamfight, be it like the Warlock, be it the Magnus, be it
that's the
Phoenix. There's something, but yeah,
that's the Arc Warden for noobs hero.
Navi classic. This is a
not as good split pushing though. That's kind of Arc Warden's
I'm saying that straight up. I think Arc Warden is literally a better hero, and if you can't play Arc Warden, you play Medusa. I'm dead serious.
What about in team fights? Medusa versus Arc Warden. Who do you think is a better team fighter?
Can you rephrase that to timings? Because I think Medusa has a nicer team-orientated timing where you can push through.
So then, when would you say that Medusa versus Arc Warden comes online sooner for team fights?
Item-wise, Medusa could be potentially active. Let's say just a Manta, right? She can go pressure a tower. But then the Arc Warden, it's like Midas, Maelstrom, bots, +1, right? It's like 4 items compared to Medusa could easily itemize for like 1 or 2 small items into fight, or 1 big item and equal the same type of fight.
When I call them like similar heroes, like the way they play early game is very similar, but the way they scale is quite different, right? But Arc Warden builds to do so much damage that you have to get through his team to get to him. Medusa builds a way that she just literally stands in front of you, and your goal is to actually out-split push her, right? Because you can't like you want to outmaneuver. When I say out-split push, you want to outmaneuver her because her main weakness is lack of mobility. I did want to step, by the way. This reminded me of a very off-topic point. But
please, by all means.
I was listening to a streamer, and his main language was not English, but he spoke English, and he said the word orientated.
Okay.
And I got really triggered because I'm like, it's oriented. What the,
Okay, I'm with you.
And so I mentioned this, and someone goes, "Yeah, in British English, it's orientated."
Really?
Yeah, and he just said orientated. So
really?
it really sparked me there. I guarantee. I know he doesn't know this because I heard him say orientated. And I just want to say that
I'm Googling this.
I got triggered, but I was like, wow.
This is interesting because my parents are from India, and so there's a lot of like British English left over in India, and they often say orientated, and I just assumed that it was just because it was like an English second language kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I thought the same thing. I was like
intrigued.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's funny. These are the things that us Americans are too ignorant for our own good, you know?
Oh my God, you're right. Google says verb and then British.
Orientated.
All right, talk about the draft.
Some Americans at home, I'm sure.
Tell me some Dota.
Quick sift through this chat real quick.
yeah.
I hope Hellraisers maybe go for like a troll ward right now. I think that would be a really good activated hero from the Magnus. Yeah, against Deucer. If the Deucer is mid, it's Windrunner mid, right? Do more flame, Medusa most likely safe lane. But still, I think troll could be very good. It pairs well with the. No, I think it's too slow and. Oh, I'm not a fan of the anti-mage, but
I'm so good at predicting the team that's going to lose this game.
This is unfortunately.
I can relate, Hellraisers. I feel you.
Unfortunately, Hellraisers are using the NA logic, and it didn't work game one, the NA logic, but I just the reason why I prefer troll in this scenario, just quick give it some grounding, is it's the fight. You know, you could easily go for like defusal. You actually have a way to deal with Medusa. If I can use my teeth in.
You did mention that you found Hellraisers to be a very skirmishy team. As the odds are also yet again favoring Navi, but yeah.
But now anti-mage, it's like you want to fight, but you can still never truly fight. And the game, we've seen these windrunners. Is it 4? Is it 3? It's so strong with the javelin. It's always kill potential in this anti-mage. I think Hellraisers, they have the fight, but they've lost their ability to win this game. I think.
You don't think Anti-Mage should go like Manta, or sorry, Vlad's Manta? We saw a miracle. I'd be down for something like that. That's
if he does, I think that could also be a very good build. Good point there.
I feel like the main justification is you're against a Medusa. So I mean, like, sure, troll defusal is nice and all, but it's anti-mage versus Medusa.
Well, I'm saying that if he goes for this like mid-game fighting timing, I like this anti-mage. If he goes Battle Fury, I think it might see the same problem we saw last
100%.
game.
If he goes Battle Fury, I think this game will just be over. If he goes for the fighting build, I can see why they go. Still think it, like, you don't have the lockdown, the solo pick off from the anti-mage, right? Like, if he jumps onto Medusa, it's not like he can contain her, right? There's not like this inbuilt route or some mechanic you can use. It's just gonna be like, oh, I'm just stone gaze, right? I failed my blink, but it's again item-based issue. Mag might cover it. I still prefer Navi's draft.
Then let's see if a divine team versus an immortal team can maybe change the dynamic as we move forward into game 2 and send it over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, game 2 ready to go. We're getting the anti-mage out as that last pick is the Magnus teaming up together from Hellraisers. What do you reckon? Do you like that sort of last response to the Medusa? You do have this carry that is going to be able to burn through that mana.
I want to see a different kind of item build coming out from AM. Something, that we've seen from Nigma.
Yeah.
They had Mag and AM, so he went for Vlad's Orb of Venom and just proceeds to, farm up and gets Manta style much earlier, so you can do much more with the Manta style. You can dodge a Shackle, you can dispel Wave of Terror, and you have that Manta style online faster, which means more mana burn on Medusa.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he is able to, or if he is going to do that. As you say, just being able to make use of having that Magnus in his squad and using that ability to skip the Battle Fury. Over on Navi's side, I mean, just sort of things overall, like, do you prefer one of the drafts here? Do you think a team sort of got an easier path to victory?
Medusa and Venge. This is kind of a lineup, that can just knock on your tier 3 towers 20 minutes in, depending how the early game's going, how many stacks you have. And it's pretty easy to stack with Venge. You can stack multiple camps with her second ability and just attacking. And that's gonna be offlane mag. I don't put much trust in the offlane mag. Nigma have done it, but almost every single other team that I watched play kind of failed with it.
And why is that? What does the hero sort of miss out on being played in this position as opposed to something else?
I still feel the strongest part of the hero is that he is the actual damage dealer and he comes online fast. Like, you just can't contest mag. Suddenly he shows up 15 minutes in, Echo Saber power treads a Blink Dagger, and no other hero in the game can do that at the moment. They nerfed him by 25%, self-damage on Empower, not enough. This is the kind of build I want to see on the offlane mag, not getting Empower, more of a killer type build, especially with the Tiny. They have 2 repositioning skill once mag hits level 2 with the Skewer and the Toss combo.
Yeah, well, we'll see sort of how it does go with the builds. I mean, obviously, eventually he's going to want to have points in that Empower to help out the anti-mage, unless we are just going to see the AM still go for the Battle Fury himself. We'll see what the case is going to be with that. The mid lane, Kasani Ember against Young G Doom. We have seen Young G play very nicely.
That's what I see. I don't know if you were paying attention. I'm pretty sure the chat saw that one typed CS low.
I'm sure they're probably typing it before you even check the lane. They're prepared for those. But yeah, on the mid Doom, do you expect another pretty solid game from Young G? This lane that he's going to farm freely in and maybe even get the win?
I've seen mid Dooms doing much better than I expected, where they get a ton of farm, like you get multiple points in Devour. Creep Camp is closer, so he's going to get the value out of that one. Let's see what he finds.
Oh, he's going to go over, yeah, grab it from Hellraiser's side. So, the Mud Golem, I mean, I guess you can mess with some CS throwing the stone out. But nothing incredible for the lane. Bottom lane, Maposhka doing his best to push back Immersion, make sure that space is there for his anti-mage to farm freely. And so far, things looking good for the AM down here. Not having too much pressure early on from the two of them, Immersion and 9 Pasha.
It's a tough lane for Windranger. I mean, he's doing well, 8 CS so far, but against AM's mana burn, against the spell mechanic in the laning stage, you just might struggle.
Top lane, King, able to make things happen there between the two of them. You said it, these two, they are pretty solid killers here. A lot of burst early on between that beefy duo off lane that Hellraisers got with the Tiny and the Magnus.
So far, so good for AM. Complete free farm. He does not care too much about any harassment coming from Clock. Can easily just jump out of the cogs. I don't think Clockwork even gets cogs in this lane. I think you need to just go for the rocket build instead.
Yeah.
Secure some CS, maybe make a play on the other lane. Yeah, this is trouble. Pasha's in trouble, actually.
Yeah, just so much harassment here from the two members of Hellraisers.
If AM has Orb of Venom, that's a dead Windranger.
Yeah, hasn't got it out for himself, at least so far in the laning setup.
And I see Ring of Health being queued up on AM, which means that he wants to go for Battle Fury.
Unless it's the Vanguard build. You know, that used to be a build, didn't it? On the AM, we saw what Miracle went for the... He went for the Vlad's build.
True, but with the Vlad, you have enough mana regen to jump between the camps. You need some kind of mana item. Otherwise, you're not getting too much out of it. Or you need to have constant clarities running on you, which is not good.
Mid lane continue to be very close. I mean, Young G's got a few more denies for the most part. Neither of these heroes really under too much threat from one another. We are going to see a movement coming in around the 4-minute route. Quick change here from Kasani trying to hold Young G back, but Young G's got the movement speed. The haste rune will be his.
12 HP regen per second, double bracer, and 2 points in Devour.
Yeah, it's pretty hard as well with the double bracer now, the blades of attack. So Kasani is going to have to prepare himself for quite some punches from the Doom.
This lane does not really pressure AM at all. Centaur helping them out.
He does get the stun on the turn, then they've got the avalanche follow up on Ilias. Ilias will turn with the magic missile onto Funnick, but Funnick's still able to get him with the skewer, find the slow. And one more punch will do it. King R's able to reach in and finish off Ilias for the second time in this lane. Doing a good job, Hellraisers, of just punishing this Venge anytime she comes just a little too far forward. Still, not necessarily slowing down Crystallizer's farm, though. He's still able to farm.
Oh, Medusa's going to contest this one with the snake if he has it. And it's going to be there. I'm not sure you're getting that kill.
I mean, a few hits with the Wave of Terror. That's going to be close. King R trying to hold Crystallize back with the toss, but still mana to provide Crystallized protection. The bounce from the snake is going to hit onto Funnick. Funnick's got to skewer away.
Funnick.
He's got the bottle.
Yeah, he's done it in the previous game as well, which allowed him to stay at the top of net worth first 15 minutes. You know, just a constant mana regen and the spam. AM going for power treads, which I really like. Instead of going for regen, you have Enchantress, you have some tangos left, and a small ring flask to work with. No points in nature attendance, but still, AM complete free farm in this lane.
Yeah, both him and Kasani getting some excellent farm early on his 2 cores. And the AM's game only going to get easier once he starts gearing up with Phonics and power. Hitting around the jungle, and then it's just going to be a case of whether Crystallize can stay on the level and or ahead with the Deucer. Did cure the Midas earlier, so it looks like that will be the route he wants to go, just to make sure that he can keep up with the farming speed of an AM with Cleave. Pasha.
Cogs. Oh. Got him.
They're going to be able to keep him safe. Nicely done from Immersion, coming in and does stop Pasha from going down there. It was just a hit away from dying as the Wind Ranger. Good CP from Immersion. Comes in, keeps him safe. And okay. Did stick around.
He tried to go for a last hit.
He did.
And travel help, but that play from the Magic Wand. Crystallize in trouble. He's low on mana.
Just managed to get the snake out, so a little bit there for backup, but there's backup for Hellraisers. Kasani's in with the chains onto Crystallize. He pops the stick. He's trying to get back underneath the tower. Toss comes in, though. Crystallize will fall. As King are able to finish that off there, chucking Funnick in with the toss. And they managed to kill the Juice for 0. Hellraisers getting some of these early kills. Kasani getting active across the map. Youngji's here. Comes in from the trees, able to drop down the Doom. Do they have enough control, though, to keep this Ember in place? Youngji trying to close up on him, but King R's there with the outline. Keeps him safe. This Ember ain't gonna fall to that Doom. He's out of there, so first Doom usage not off to great effect.
Whoa, this is pretty big that he actually survived that first Doom. Bottom lane doing extremely well. Also Doom, not a hero that, you know, just goes in and ganks people. They need some kind of a follow-up. Immersion, what is he, level 3 or 4? Like, you need your Clockwork to be active. You need him to get levels to actually be that initiator, because right now, Navi looking like they're in a very tough spot. I also want to see what AM has queued up. Just
yes, if he is
for the Battle Fury or the Vlad's build.
I mean, with this sort of a start where they're not really under any pressure, you may just go for the Battle Fury anyway, despite having the Empower buff. We'll see how fast he does want to play it. It's back down bottom. With the micro, playing around with Pasha. Immersion is going to be there. And there's with the Shackle out. There we are to turn and do quite a bit of damage here to Maposhka. Ego tries to jump through the power shot. Yeah, nice snipe from Pasha comes in. King R is there with the wraparound. Looks over towards Immersion, but Immersion's under the tower. And Navi, they've brought in more. As Young G,
4 people
ready to start running down. Another power shot connects from Pasha. Sets up for King R to fall. Good turn. As we do see the mask picked up, so it looks like he will be going the same route that we saw Nigma do when they ran the AM and the Magnus, and something that the panel said they did want to see. And would you agree this is the way to play? Make full usage of the fact you've got the Empower on your side, and don't waste money and time on the battlefield.
Yeah, surprised some of the teams did not start picking it up much earlier. It's an old mechanic that goes back a couple of years ago, and now they're gonna start making aggressive rotation on the top lane for Hellraisers. That's a big stack.
Oh, that is. If they can get over here, I mean, they've got ways to clear these stacks. Take them away from Hellraisers. They'll get a ward down, so they'll have vision on when Navi's going for it, and Hellraisers can have a chance of getting in. King R, he's actually going to get the wraparound. He's able to just walk on the two of them. The combo into the chains. It is an Immersion taken down straight away.
Need to take this stack right now. It's super farmed.
They're not going. Yeah, but I mean, they've got to contest it. Maybe they want to leave it now because they've got the ward down, and just wait until Navi's maybe farming it, getting a little low. But yeah, they've got to make sure they don't just let Crystallize pick that up for free.
Iron Talon from Medusa. Okay, that's the farming item that she needs. Pasha. Man, this anti-mage is playing extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
Still did not hear or see Mana Void, and he just bought another raid band. I like it. Like, you need some kind of a extra attack speed, extra damage if you're going for that no Battle Fury build.
Oh, yeah, true. With the 2 Wraith Bands and the Vlads, when you're empowered in the fights, this is going to be an AM that he's going to feel very strong early on in this game. You've got to be careful for him, especially in these fights where they get the setup for RPs. This AM's going to be able to blink in and easily offer the damage to clear up anyone caught in the RP.
They're very limited on the tower damage on side of HR, so they need to keep playing with the catapult timings if they want to keep the pressure, or just bring 1-2 creeps, 1 creep from Enchantress. Never mind, can't have 2.
Bit of damage done here mid. Looks like the stat was taken, and they got the D-ward as well, Navi, so we're able to hold control of that. Hellraisers stopping to put the pressure on the top. And this tier 1 stunning to get pushed in. Navi's smoke coming to an end. They're not going to be able to get here in time. Towered out.
Clockwork just hit level 6. I would make see a rotation coming out from Clockwork. Bottom lane, that's a big kill if they can get it. Hook shot into Shackle, but they need a follow-up. They also need to use Doom to secure the kill.
It's a tricky one. They've got to find some way of getting Young G on top of it. Without the Doom, this anti-mage doesn't die.
He's deeping out.
He's out.
Great sense.
Yeah.
I don't see any wards, but sometimes you can see when the enemy hero who's showing on the lane starts acting differently. You see a Wind Ranger stepping like 50 range closer, trying to attack him a couple of times, just being in the range of a Shackle.
I'll get the setup here. This will be a kill. A very easy one there. Immersion finding the hook shot straight away onto Kasani. Kasani was able to spend up his money, did go for the bots. So nice early bots this game on Ember. It's 12 minutes in. Make it much easier for him to make these moves around the map. Sure he's always there when Funnick or Tiny King R finds some sort of a setup. King R has his blink looking 1500. In space to hit creeps himself. Just 1k in it, 1 to 2k at least. We'll start to see how things pick up for both carries now that the anti-mage very much ready to start clearing around the map. And
pops the drum just to get some tower damage going. Mag needs to play for his Blink Dagger. Like, they're gonna have some sick timing on Blink Daggers. 15 minutes in, you're gonna have 1 on Mag, 1 on Tiny. AM will be ready to join a fight with the Vlads and Yasha just to clean things up. I want to see what Kasani had queued up. Just the Boots of Travel, you said? That's it?
Yeah, he's picked it up. He's got the boss online. So we've got the boss drums. Go for the Radiance next to Kasani. Navi. They're going to be fed some free kills here by the looks of it. Underneath the tower, what's going on? Alright, 3 heroes just dying in mid on Hellraisers as Crystallize turns up, gets the cleanup on 2 of them.
That's weird. I mean, I expected them to get the Blink Daggers and get the fights going then, but they can do this to make it more interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, Navi's going to say thank you very much. Crystallize, as I say, he's got the Midas rolling and just able to get himself involved with a couple of easy kills mid. Ego will still be able to finish off the tower. And again, obviously as expected after the bats, just going for the Manta style, the standard. And will still make very good timing on that. But does have to be a little bit of a worry that Crystallize is also having such a good game. Sure, the Deucer can be a big, juicy target for the anti-mage. But at the end of the day, if Navi, they have heroes that can control the fight, make sure that the anti-mage struggles to stay on top of the Medusa. This Medusa can turn and punch back if he's sort of getting the first damage items online before the anti-mages, and you'll see that after Crystallize gets that Manta done.
Extremely farm. They also had a couple of good stacks. She cleared Dragonlance, Hand of Midas. That means that she's going to be getting a lot of levels, going for Manta style next. Cam stacked 10 by Venge. That's insane.
Yeah, that's some big lifting here in the early game. For sure, but without a doubt, a lot of money being built up on the map for his team. There we go. The odds right now still favouring Navi here. The EGB odds 1.52. Understandable. Crystallize Shackle. And that's also an excellent Stogan. And straight away the turn comes into play. Funny RP for what? I mean, it might save him. They're going to run him down. Immersion was able to find a Poshka on the way out, and Funnick, he's not going to get away. This is going to hurt. One of the reasons why we saw the odds there favouring Navi. I think that you can just sense that Crystallize's game is only going to get better. And if Pasha continues to hit shackles like that, then Hellraiser is going to struggle to actually fight Navi early on.
So Magnus decided not to get a Blink Dagger. There's still Doom. No follow-up, already used the Blink Dagger, which means that That's why I don't like the mag as position 3, where like you want to get the mag, you do not want to get straight a blink dagger, but you also need the item to set things up because it's very hard for them. How far? 2 blink daggers. All right, I like that. Use one to get in, one to get out.
Okay.
Then skewer back in.
That's some big brain stuff if I'm funny.
Sassive foul. Come on, use it. What triggers you the most when you're watching a Dota game? Is it the passive hand of Midas? Passive shovel?
I don't know. Probably the passive Midas is, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's definitely too many occasions where we see Midas is just not getting used. And all that diffuse on air, that would be quite something. Back in the day, it was because you didn't have to put points into your abilities. You could put them into stats. So you would just go full stats on AM. You buy a blink, you buy a diffusal. The game, it was excellent. Those were the good days of Dota 2. Those were the good days when you could do that.
Did you know that the old diffusal blade had purge, and you could just kill
the golem
on the warlock? Yeah, it's insane.
That was amazing.
Oh, you have your ulti, and let me just buy this 3,000 gold item, and I'm gonna destroy it instantly.
That was in the game for a long time as well.
It was.
That wasn't like a patch thing, like we shouldn't have added that. That was a feature, and it was quite something. You know, it just goes to show that some things in Dota that can be there for eternity, and you know they're just sort of accepted. I feel one of those things that you do hear some of the people complain, but things like the runes right and the RNG of them, that is a feature that I wouldn't be surprised if like one day Valve just like changes or removes.
Just completely. I mean, we got shrines removed. We had 5 in the base, a couple of outside the base. It was pretty impossible to siege the high ground.
Oh, Pasha. There we go. They got him. Oh, have they? Yes, they have. Chains are out. Pasha goes down.
Nice.
He goes, securing the kill. Pasha online from next after the Manta. Still though, you are starting to see this anti-mage fall behind. There's 2k gold in it now. Crystallize. This Deuce is a problem. They have these heroes that can make the jump in, but again, Medusa very much this hero that if you jump in, you don't burst down. She's just going to turn and start killing you. Sure, anti-mage is great at burning the mana, but as I say, Navi, they've got multiple ways of swapping, cogs out, shackles, ways they can stop this anti-mage actually getting to hit the Medusa, and then if you're not hitting the Medusa, Crystallize is just going to win every fight.
They just need to be careful about the counter spell. Don't get shackled back and don't get doomed back. It might just completely lose you the game. Medusa, is the swap behind her? Yes, it is.
They've got to try and find something about Crystallize her out first. Stun gaze, suddenly popped by Crystallize. Young G, he's in. He's got the doom out. This anti-mage is dead. Quick moves from Young G. As Phonic tries to skewer away, but he only catches Immersion with him, who's got the cogs. Again, this is the worry. If you're Hellraisers, any bad fight you take anywhere close to Crystallize is just going to allow him to propel himself further and further ahead. This Deucer, his game's only going to get easier at this point if these players continue to come out like this.
So far, they only managed to kill Medusa once, and she's staying 3k gold ahead of the anti-mage. They just got a kill on him. Midas, come on.
Come on, Crystallize.
And you can't just itemize to get a MKB on AM at this point. You need a basher. You need to, be able to kill the rest and then deal with Medusa.
Yeah.
Just get the first jump. But as you said, there's a couple of counterplays to that. There's a swap. There's a clockwork hook shot. They have ways of dealing it.
Try for the jump point, Young G. I should be able to find him here. Doom goes down. Honestly, I think if you're Navi, you don't really care too much about who dies as long as your Medusa's farming away. Maybe they can get Roche with this. They do know there's no Stone Gaze.
2 cores with the Empower, Power Shot plus a Rocket. They're popping the drums. They're committed.
Yeah, they want to. I mean, you can maybe try for a steal, but you can see with the positioning of Hellraisers trying to make it hard for the hook shot to come in from an angle.
That's a huge nerf to Clockwork. In the past 2 patches, barely missed him.
He couldn't reach. He didn't quite have the reach immersion. He comes out for the cogs were there. Trying to split them up after the RP immersion. He's actually going to be able to walk out of that. The toss will finally get him, but Crystallize, he's now Crystallize, he's been left alone. This is 5 versus 1, but they can't do it. They're having to run. The Medusa is too strong. Despite killing off 3 members of Navi, they still have to run away. Youngji's able to get the jump in onto Kasani. And now, I mean...
they can run into Rochebit or Navi, and Medusa's about to hit level 20, and even when Venge dies, she still gives aura to Medusa, extra stat.
Use the Midas! Come on, I know he wants to say it for the bigger creep, but there's no creeps here.
Someone cleared the nerf. The nerf I talked about is that Clockwork Rocket duration actually went from 10 to 8 and then from 8 to 6, which is kind of a big deal. Like, you want to have the vision in the pit. Definitely not the nerf that I expected on Clockwork, but it happened. And AM so far away from just completely getting that Abyssal Blade. Like, even though it's a 3k gold lead for Navi, now they have a big item, and Medusa will have full butterfly in a minute or 2, and then they can just go into a Roche Pit and take it by force. Blink Dagger, that's the first one.
Yeah, first one of many, if Funny wants to be as experimental as he was queuing up his build to be. But yeah, I mean, Crystallize, he's just only going to be more of a problem for Hellraisers. I mean, how do you deal with the Medusa here? Can you ever sort of kill Crystallize when there's teammates around? Have you got to try and pick off the support heroes? Do you just throw everything onto the Medusa? How do you kill her?
That's a good question. They need to take care of the rest, you know. Just wait until she uses ulti, try to reset, and get her last. I don't see them man-fighting Medusa, especially if she gets the Stone Gaze off. And this is the, like, look what Pasha is doing. Like, he understands that he needs to keep Medusa safe.
Yeah.
Getting Guardian Greaves. Also, I see one Lincoln's queued up, so that's the way to counter the Abyssal Blade. Like, this is one of the hardest carries in the game, and if you take care of her, she's gonna deliver. This is what I talked about. Get the full butterfly, run into Roche Pit with the massive Bitus once again.
Oh no. I mean, that's the thing, he's this farm, and even with efficiency being lost. 16,000 net worth for Hellraisers. They are starting to come around the pit. Can they actually get in? Wall coverage is good from Navi. They see this. From King R, he doesn't want to jump in. And they're going to go back in. It's Young G going to be in trouble. There's 2 of them. The Shackle's down. Onto Funnick. King R's dead. So's Funnick.
Back to the Roche Pit.
Back to the pit. Not only going to get Roche, getting themselves 2 kills out to the side of it. And it just feels like we're going to get into a bit of a repeat position of game 1, where Hellraisers, they just, early mid-game, slowly fall behind after 1 or 2 awkward moves, and then it very much seems like they just seem a little lost. Like, what do they do playing this game from this position? It just seems ever so hard.
And the only option for Hellraisers might be the split pushing, the same thing they did in game number 1.
Crystallize with this Aegis. It's still so early. We're 24 minutes in. Midas, Manta, Butterfly, Dragon Lance, Crystallize with all the components to start pushing even more aggressively down the lanes of Hellraisers, maybe even starting to tackle the high ground if Navi so wish. At the same time, they may not even feel too much pressure under themselves this game because of how far ahead their Medusa is right now. Let's see, around the mid, they go. Hellraisers, I mean, what's their best bet here? May just have to be waiting for the high ground defense. Fighting outside of the base, it's...
Oh, look at that range. So Dragon Lance again, Midas.
I was gonna say, I'm just looking at the Midas. Where's the creeps? Where's the camps?
Oh, they already used the glyph.
Wait, what?
They used the glyph for some reason.
Why? Oh, I mean, Navi, they could definitely punish this.
Okay, so they used it for the bottom tower. Oh, okay. It's gonna reset just to, you know, get the maximum efficiency going.
Tier 2 down mid. Navi will sweep up to the top to push this round, take it over tier 2 whilst they have this Aegis. And whilst Hellraisers still struggle to really bring together a fight, they've got the Shiva's Guard done on the Ember Spirit. They're just trying to get the Force online so we can have a bit of save, help people get away from the cogs. And Kasani Looking for the chase of Pasha, but just a little too elusive. As pressure just continues to mount up on the anti-major. This anti-major's got to catch up. At least, as you say, with the Abyssal, then Ego can start to play these fights in a way that he can jump and look to pop at least one of the supporting cast of Navi.
If AM does not have a buyback and they manage to kill him, this game could just end. They still have Age for 2.5 minutes. Clearing the rest of tier 2 towers at the moment.
Crystallize, I mean, these 1500 away
left
from a Satanic.
Double sentry, double blink.
They're going to need to try and do something here, Hellraisers. What can they do? They'll get the deep tossing onto Crystallize. Have they got any damage to even threaten him the once? He pops the Manta, steps away to the side. He's got the lockdown as well with the immersion forward. Hookshot onto King R. King R's gone. They're now man down for this defense. No buyback on the Tiny. Fortification now pop, but it's whilst the creeps are out of range, so Navi's going to have a full HP creep wave coming in.
AM's on top, which means that they cannot clear the bottom creeps.
He's going for the jungle creeps, though, not for the tower pressure Ego at the moment. So no real split push pressure. Funny, we'll get a deep dive. That's grab onto Ilias. So Venge is gone. That might be enough, actually, by the looks of it, to sort of scare Navi off as they start to back away with their Venge dying in that situation.
This is something that Miposhka needs to do. Every single time Venge dies, just use Enchant on that illusion and take it over so they don't get anything out of it and actually use it against them. I'm not sure why that's a thing. Like, this kind of illusion should be strong, and I don't think you should be able to take control of it.
Yeah, I know, it's weird how some fall in that role and others don't. Ego, how's his timing looking? Going for the Lincoln Sphere next, making sure that he's got that safety against these Dooms, Shackle shots, Zoe spells. There's all Pasha. And the Shackle, is there any follow-up though? There is. Immersion coming with a hook shot, the cogs push back into the Doom. The combos, he's stuck up on that cliff. They have the vision with the rocket flare and the power shot. Now King R, he himself under pressure, has found an Invis rune. They don't have detection. Oh, he's out. Oh, power shot Pasha. Oh, we didn't even know where he went, but Pasha did. Damn, with the power shot snipe into the darkness, finds the connection. Very nicely done there from the Wind Ranger. Reads him like a book.
Power shot. Power shot. Yeah, makes complete sense. Can they do something? Do something, Medusa. I don't know. I'm
seeing what you're trying to go for there.
Let's just stop there. It's gonna be Age is gone for Navi, but that's a full Satanic assistance. Oh, and she's gonna get level 25 pretty soon.
Dude, this is 29 minutes in. Crystallize just enormous on the Medusa. It's another game where Crystallize has just he's been able to pop off AC done as well on the Doom, so further ways that Crystallize is just going to be buffed up in the team fights. They just cannot deal with him. They cannot deal with this Medusa right now. It's far too far ahead. They're going to try for a smoke, but Navi themselves, they're smoked up and waiting in the shadows. Kasani swapped in. Oh, but they didn't actually have anyone there ready for that swap, so Kasani's able to pop Remnant, jump out. Still the remainder of Hellraisers hiding behind him in the smoke. What is there to do? What kind of jump can they find? Crystallize starts to show, but he's a hard target to jump on. Looking over towards Kasani, but they do manage to get the blink in. Oh, on the backline, so Ego tries to go for immersion with the Mana Void finisher. They'll take it. So Clockwork down, another poke in from Kasani. Still having to stay off to the side without the Mana Void. They don't really have enough burst to pick out the heroes of Navi, but still one's enough. We'll push Navi back, as Navi will wait and reset once immersion's back in the game. So a little bit of breathing room for Hellraisers.
They definitely don't need to go in and try to end the game right now, but they can wait for the next Rosh. It could respawn in more than a minute. If it's a fast spawn, Pasha's ready to go.
Instant jump in onto the Ember. Another Doom is there again. Catching this Ember multiple times. Youngji always finding the target. It's Kasani will fall down for a minute, has got buyback. Navi will work to push this top lane round, take away the final tier 2 of Hellraisers. So they've got all 5 back in the game. Just continuing to grow that lead. 10k advantage right now, still there for Navi. Hellraisers struggling to make any sort of dent in it.
Pasha has been playing amazing this game, setting up so many kills. That power shot kill on top of that. AM needs to carry this card. Every single time they show in a lane where they want to push, he needs to be there and just try to stop it, kill the creeps. That's their only play.
Funny. King up. Grab an immersion. And it's going to pop to the Mana Void. Pasha going to start focus firing away onto Funnick. Ego, he's already out of there. As the chase here from Navi resumes onto Funnick. Another connection as Pasha is able to close the gap, set up a second shackle shot onto Funnick. It's another kill for Navi. King R just hiding and hoping. 20 seconds and he'll be able to TP out. They don't know he's here.
Yang Ji also playing extremely well. Like, he can't do like any flashy plays with the Doom, but his Dooms were on point except the first one. Like, every single time he got the kill on the Ember Spirit.
It's been a tough game for the Ember. Yang Ji always able to read him.
That's a big item. I see Aghanim Scepter queued up on him.
So Yang Ji
break and the longer stun. If you break AM, it's like any other hero.
Yeah, he's just gonna do no damage and just die. He's just gonna die. It's King Eye. He's still chilling up here. He's been trying to get these creep waves cut.
Ooh, he even has Quiver. So more active range. Is that Divine Rapier queued up, or is it?
No, I think it's MKB. I don't think we're going to get treated to a Rapier hit. I think they're going to play it safe. No, Dave. Okay, Dave, let's show a little bit more. MKB. Oh, you see, they found him! Oh, they found him. They found him. Was trying to cut these creep waves and stuck around for a creep wave too many. They hunted him down, but yeah, that's the full Daedalus done on Crystallize, and as you saw as well in the XP, very, very close to being that level 25 here, just 33 minutes in Crystallize. 462 CS at 33 minutes. They cannot do anything about it.
25 Medusa, alright.
Yeah, and a DD rune.
Not bad, so...
Midas.
Modifiers, okay, gotta get the most out of it. Keeping the spider legs for now. No boots.
I mean, that's the dream neutral, right? I mean, there's so many good ones he gets for Medusa, but the slot efficiency of getting spider legs, it's just great, right? Because this is a hero that just does so much with, you know, having these huge late game items.
Spider Snake. Imagine, how do you kill Spider Snake?
I don't know. I don't know. What would the weakness be? I mean, how do you
can't just cut off the legs because it's just gonna be like a regular snake.
What's Spider-Man's weakness? In like the lore. Are you much of a superhero expert?
I'm no superhero expert. I watch the movies, but you know, not as the biggest fan.
Oh, King Art! He's got the venge. But Kasani, he just gets torn apart by these crits.
Another shackle.
Pasha, it just don't stop. It just don't stop for this Wind Ranger. Catch after catch. Setting up kill after kill for Crystallize. That's 2 cores dead, neither of them with buyback.
He's still chasing. He might get him.
Is he gonna get another shackle? Oh, he is. Pasha, ladies and gentlemen, having a beautiful night on the Wind Ranger.
You're not getting out. I mean, Medusa has a ton of attack speed.
Yep.
Plus Shackle coming through once again. Even Cheese on Medusa. She just gave it away to Pasha, I believe.
I mean, he deserves it. He deserves it for hitting those spells. And let's be honest, Crystallize, he don't need it. He does not need it. Ego's still farming away, but just one of those games where the anti-mages just never had the chance to use that power that on paper looks to be there against a Medusa. You see that he's got this ability of burning mana. He buys a Manta. You've got 3 here, extra illusions to burn it as well. But the reality of it is, if there's a strong team around the Medusa, you can't just ever get on top of her and go. If she's an item ahead of you, it just feels from that moment onwards that you're just never going to be able to threaten the Medusa in a fight.
And I like these color coordinated items on Pasha. Everything is kind of blue and purple. The toss back on Medusa.
Oh, that's
this cure.
Oh, here we go. brain play.
Okay. Connect. Have they got any other ways of getting him in? But again, Alias. Oh, but then with the RP. And then the missed hook shot down the side of it all. Crystallize, he's going to get the chance to pop the stone gaze. As Funnick's got to run. Pasha with the chase, the focus fire. Funnick tries to secure away, but they'll find him. Yonji again finds the Doom onto the Ember Spirit. Crystallize just beating them back to the fountain. As the buybacks will come out, but there's 2 dead for good on Hellraisers. As Navi, they could just resume hitting the base. I mean, it was Nag on the Doom. Pasha tries to come across. King Ar's got the toss up. Young G trying to run away, had that movement speed. Shackle getting blocked by the spell shield. Still, they had to be careful how close they get to Crystallize as Crystallize holds his ground, focusing the objectives. Toss back King R.
He's out of mana.
He is out of mana.
Satanic.
And this Mage is just dying because of the crits. The damage is too much. Crystallize kills him off. There'll be a buyback from Ego. But there is 3 dead on Hellraisers. Navi are going to respect it. They are going to back off. I mean, they were so close to having the big play there, Hellraisers. If they were able to get that toss back on the Crystallize into the fountain, this would have been a big swing. But Ilias, clutch stuff with that swap. That swap's not there, and then suddenly Hellraisers, they actually might have had a chance of holding on in this game.
Any repositioning skill in Dota right now gives you ability to just defend the tier 3 towers and go for that kind of a play, especially if you have both Magnus and Tiny in your team.
He's going to skew him, he's going to actually follow him with a hook shot there on top of the AM. He's been hook shotted as well. He's down, he can't get out. That's a dieback on Ego. Navi will move forward to look to end this one. 33 to 20, 29k lead. An incredibly fat Medusa to top it all off as Crystallize has another excellent game on the carry. Swap
Another
back.
good swap into Cog.
He's away.
Navi playing point.
He's even looking for the fountain shackle shots. They're going straight in. As Navi, they'll take the tier 4. The Ancient exposed. This game will slowly be theirs. Hellraisers, they're chilling outside the base. Maybe trying for one more play. Even with the toss on Pasha, they don't have enough damage. The hook shot into the Cogs push back onto Kasani. Sets up for more kills. GG is... And with that Navi, they'll take game 2. And the series is theirs. 2-0 against Hellraisers. And for pretty much the mid-game onwards in both of these games, it did, you could feel that Navi just had a very solid hold on both of these matches.
Yeah.